Obati ebi so ye ma omo kwan se wo montum. So just yesterday I was sekwa nkofo bi ni driver fo bi koye. And reliably told say enra kro no ano La Paz entokwasiye. Should drivers increase the transport fare? If you ask me, yes. But what percentage? I can't say. The reality is that one more, as I said, one would di any na one would di unkomo na increment no eba no. It seems one more market time. Now one more market time no continuously it is becoming a problem between the drivers or their mates and the passengers. Yava bibi anto nchen. Wa woton jeni ene wo jeni no wato bo no so. Wa wo dan a wo de high ene wo dan rent no wato so. Ni oton pure water ene pure water baako aye 50 pesos wato so. Now you cry passport office ene wo koye passport a ya to so. Adie bia bo akosro including tieme. Drop any here petrol. Yatu bon so. Engine or whatever oil. Yatu so. Spare parts. Yatu so. Income tax. Yatu so. So tell me, is a driver any day? Sabe. Neni moha. Enti wonu de ensese ne fair no yatu so. I've told you, say me I don't care about your feelings. I make an argument. The Ghanaian argument. Enti bisa wo buafunu se wo kun ye drop bani wo papa ye drop bani wo nua ye drop bani na everything around the driver. Let's not forget that driver also buy from that same shop we buy from. That driver also buy the kenke we buy. That driver also buy that rice we also buy. Everything we buy, that driver also buys. We a teacher ni o salary yatum yentum akajem say yentum yatum. We a nurse ni o salary yatum yentum akajem say yentum yatum. We a doctor o salary yatum akajem say yentum ana yatum. Me wa high me salary yatum. Adenti na ma driver ni die. Ono nso amount mu kakra. I am not going to speak about how much the increment is. I don't want to go there. Because I expect the transport ministry led by Kwekwo Fore-Siama and the transport people say by now they should have a meeting and come up to date. Can they one more at the fair no percentage no omo dia babo nten said the beya and to kwankosi said the beya obi bunfu. That is what I am looking at because everything in this country bo akosro, including everything the driver needs to get the car going. But we are not being honest to ourselves. We are not. And now we be Ali Mega Nufin Krankwantaba. Unam eye doma to tomwa kosi and Krankwanta. Body esumho bem. Ebeka chose 100 cedis. Or the sub body any free hot no the bedun crya, no ye back up or 200 cedis. And to bam no cut on 100 cedis, no, or beton baby, no, get 1,500 cedis. Oh, what would your mouth tomu? Now drop benino or foul near mano, also one of the montum. This afternoon I'm speaking for the drivers, I'm speaking for you, I'm speaking for myself, I'm speaking for everybody. If there is the need to adjust the transport fares upwardly slightly, they have to do it. Because ebi musro and a Ghana for which driver phone they are not Burkina base. The drivers are also Ghanaians. Driver phone they do not come from Scotland. They are one of us, they are Ghanaians. And they said nipa susa ba. Who told you the driver is also not complaining ba? The driver is also complaining. Me problem nyina ye some minister ni the ministry for no woman driver for no isia to address it and come out with a figure. It will help. You see, unfortunately, people are going to do politics with it. And that is why I'm sure one of our major problems in this country is that when bold steps and bold decisions are taken, some people also on the touchline seeking to want to come to power would use that and campaign in a negative manner. The reality is that now you are one of the buyers say police force should be on alert. Who said driver any be out to fair anymore manchino? Hey, you cannot do that. You know they cannot do it. It is not constitutional. There is no price control market in this country. We don't have it. And the police themselves, they will not indulge themselves in that unnecessary activity. GPRT you for what must say what will be out to the transport fare no. These same people over some of their stations. No receipt to her from Accra to Akachi. It used to be 55 cities. And they are 66 cities. I hear GPRT for now to My problem is that when government doesn't sit down with the people to agree on the percentage, the people will put on whatever they want to add on. And so when the government sit down with them, led by the Minister of Transport, Kwako Furiya Siama, now one decide to say, "Monfa 20% and kotoso, monfa 10% and kotoso no, and no ebejina." No fear. Let me ask you, if it was 55 cities, now 66 cities are. Do you know that the percentage of that was 20%? 20%. 20%. Meanwhile, Sanka minister, any transport unions, and when we agree even on 15%, when we agree on 12% or 10% there, and can only papa. Failure to engage them and to ensure that the right thing at the time is done, they would also do what they have to do to also ease themselves of the pressure. And me, because it's one you have to say, mate, any passenger, passenger, newu. Ya tisa mate ni any passenger be akwa mate newu. Ya tiwo krom hada. Are we waiting till it gets there before we take the right decision? Like I said, me say adie bia bo akosru okro de mu ha. Obia service or render bia no watu ne buom. Obia service or render bia no watu ne buom. So why can't the driver do so? But we want to make sure that the driver does so in line with a certain figure. But the yentu sana as a country, womu dinia womu pe ebeto so. Amana be a problem. And by the time a decision will come from there, it will be difficult to reverse it. It will be so difficult to reverse it. And they may say, as someone American, hey, be an there. But ask yourself, driver for no, one more kotadia. Do we say so? We driver for here. The member on my border than go to the petrol drums. Prices of petroleum products have gone up. Can you know? Me talk maximum 800 cities. Me tank ne be ye ma. And I need about 1,100 to 1,200 cities. And so that what I used to buy some few months ago, I am. It is not anybody's doing, but that is where we find ourselves. It is the reason why the Ghanaian worker will call on the employer, set to market to him because cost of transportation are cost through. It is the reason why Mamenwa or Kofa Nioma will form a babeton will increase it because Gov'T. Hey, maybe sa Gov'T cry. I took 5 cities. I have Gov'T ya and go for the. He said 5 cities to me talk Gov'T. Mameni ya so until 5 cities ibiem. Me di bin ache mom. Nanka ya me tato ne mom. Me talk green container mom. Mama o ma to beans eguso. I said, I just said 10 cities. And he ready. So everything, I am not supporting the driver. I am not. But I am against what they have done. So much to 30%, 35%. That, if you ask me, is unacceptable. But sad DNSC. Because one more so almost seen Konyani driver for no more the price, Nankasa, the actual price no ban. They are failing or they have failed to do so. Basically, he is a politician. Or you know, yeah, but to me, Ghana for the Subono boy. Because there are two transport firms when they are announcing officially this year. Ubenya NDC phobia on Babe campaign. And that's what I hate in this country. Say we politicize everything. We politicize everything, including public toilets. We politicize it. It is not good. It is not in anybody's interest. And come to think of it, as a minimum energy, so I want to manage because I want to no power. And that is a pump. Oko for drum price no we den akosro. Enti akosro no what it means that driver ni mfa so eso na ate. Uko change oil and 0W20 oil mean okay na me use 5W20 oil na me turn 420 cedis and they 672 cedis. That same oil 5 liters. Some few months ago it was 420 cedis. And now I have 672 cedis. And truck driver nina one also ni oil or auto na mama say you 100 cedis ato so and you 150 cedis ato so no. One na interest 150 no. Don't forget oil service provider. And your budget I will one man all provided that service no too. Let's come to terms and let's bear with them. But let's condemn said ya oma tumu boom 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 and let's call on the minister. Kwa for real siama. Anyone who is here to minister, only one who is mutumu at a certain level. And no be boy said driver for nankasa, but now one more office. Nani ya omu peno wa mu dia to swama ye. Am waye ye jama omwa ebua wa mu de ba no anu odene from 55 cities to 66 cities. Hey, 10 cities or 11 cities per one. Now look at the number of people like this. So we are 15. It means I'll multiply that by 15 by 10, 110. Until by 15 now, and 160 something cities. Are we saying, say, fuela auto, edia fin crying, aqua catchy? Dodua na uhiano, and they auto sad do 160 na habitoswana. I think you are getting my point now. Do you not get my point? Because when we leave them to do the increase themselves, we can't bear it. You and I cannot bear it. And that is why we call on government to do what is needful. Sit down with them, discuss and decide. Yempo, if you ask me, there's that need for them to upwardly adjust it slightly, if you ask me. There's that need. So kakra. It is sit down with them. Namun decide how much you are adding on. And yes, sir. One more pay. At the better to boom boom, and when it gets to that level, the Ghanaian will rather be angry at you, the government, and you know the cost effect of that anger. Your friend and I are FIANKO. This has been my take.